Story begins by showing a dense jungle. A man was running frantically, hoping to find a way out of this forest. But the jungle was so thick that no way out was visible. The man continued to move forward, watching the sun. But now the sun was slowly setting. Still, the man didn't stop running. He kept running until he reached a point where a signboard read, "Point of no return," meaning no one could go back from there. The number 108 was also written on the board. Seeing this, he became even more distraught. Slowly, the darkness deepened, and a strange fear spread throughout the jungle. Suddenly, all the birds flew away at once. Even after walking for several miles, the man hadn't seen a single wild animal in the entire forest. No one knew what it was that even wild animals were afraid of. The man started running even faster out of fear. But after traveling for several hours, he suddenly stopped at a place, and his face was covered in despair, because in front of him was the same signboard with the number 108 on it, which read "Point of no return." Now the man understood that no matter how much he ran, he couldn't escape this jungle. So he started looking for a place to hide, but he couldn't find a safe place to hide there. So he climbed up a tree. But suddenly, the tree branch broke, and the man fell down to the ground from a great height. He was badly injured after falling from the tree. He had sustained deep wounds. Just before he could pass out, the ground suddenly started shaking, and strange growling sounds began to come. Hearing those sounds, the man's breath caught in his throat. Then, suddenly, someone dragged him away. Who was dragging him was not shown, but we heard the man's painful screams. 6 days after this incident, we are shown a girl named Mina in the city, who works at a bird shop. Her boss arrives and orders Mina to deliver a golden parrot to a zoo far away from the city. Mina agrees and sets out to deliver the parrot. Mina sits in the car, sets the zoo's location on her mobile, and starts her journey. As she leaves the city, she sees photos of many missing people on a board, meaning many people had disappeared from that area. But Mina doesn't pay much attention to them and continues driving. While moving forward, Mina takes a shortcut through the jungle to quickly deliver the parrot to the zoo. She reaches the middle of the jungle. This is the same place where we saw a man disappear earlier. Mina was now badly trapped there. She looks at the map on her mobile, but there were no mobile signals, and her car radio wasn't working either. Mina started to drive back from there, but she couldn't figure out the way to get out. After a while, Mina's car also broke down. Mina gets out of the car and sees the same "Point of no return" signboard in front of her. Mina doesn't understand anything, so she takes the parrot's cage in her hand and walks ahead to look for help nearby. But there was no trace of any help around. She then returns to the place where she had parked her car. But her car was gone from there. Seeing this, she was very disturbed. She thought that perhaps she hadn't come to the place where her car was parked, but had come to another place, and her car was parked somewhere else, because every point in this jungle looked the same. Now the darkness was deepening. Suddenly, just like before, all the birds flew away from the trees. Mina started to get scared because the ground was shaking violently. Mina felt a presence nearby. Suddenly, Mina saw a shadow in the distance. Mina ran after it, but she found no one there. Then, suddenly, Mina saw an old woman running. Mina also ran, chasing her. She was asking for help, but the woman didn't stop and kept running fast. Once again, Mina chased this old woman. Suddenly, the old woman disappeared again. As Mina searched for her and moved further, she saw a large room in the distance in the jungle. The old woman opened the door of that room and told Mina, "If you want to stay alive, hurry up and come inside." Hearing this, Mina ran towards the room without thinking. As soon as Mina entered, the old woman locked the gate. Mina sees that this is a strange room with a very large mirror in it. There were 2 other people with the old woman. Mina, worried, asks those people, "What is this place?" To this, the old woman replied, "We call this place the Cove. My name is Madeline, this girl is Kiara, and this boy's name is Daniel." The old woman tells Mina, "There's no time for talking. Quickly stand with us in front of the mirror because someone is coming to see us." Mina asks, "Who is coming to see us?" The old woman doesn't give her an answer. Suddenly, strange noises came from outside. Mina, scared, asks, "What is that noise?" Kiara tells Mina, "We call them the Watchers. They are watching us from the other side of the mirror, but we cannot see them. They come here every night after sunset and keep watching us until the morning sun rises." Then, there was noise from the other side of the mirror. Mina asks, "What is this noise?" The old woman said that the Watchers are happy with your arrival. They are clapping to see you here. Mina was completely confused. She wanted to get out of here as soon as possible. Mina, nor anyone else, had seen the people whom Madeline was calling the Watchers. The night passes. In the morning, these people come out of that place. Madeline explains that the Watchers only come out at night. During the day, they are free to roam in the jungle. Mina had been thinking all night about when morning would come and she could quickly get out of this jungle. So, she immediately starts looking for a way out of the jungle. Then Madeline forbids everyone else from stopping her. It was as if she knew that Mina couldn't get out of this jungle and would definitely return. As Mina was leaving, Madeline just told her, "Your decision is not good. There is no way out of this jungle. We have to come back to this house before nightfall. If you are late, you will lose your life." Mina doesn't listen to anyone and moves forward quickly with her parrot. A little further on, she sees the same point of no return sign. Seeing it, she panicked, but she didn't lose heart and kept walking in the direction of the sun, watching the sun. But she failed to get out of the jungle. Further ahead, the path ended. Mina saw that she was standing on top of a mountain, from where there was nothing but jungle as far as the eye could see. So she sat down, disappointed. Suddenly, someone placed a hand on her shoulder. She got scared, and when she turned back, it was the old woman, Madeline. Madeline encourages her here and says, "You are not the only one who tried to escape from here and lost. We also lost, like you, and stayed here. There is no way out of here. Come, I'll show you something." Madeline takes Mina towards the jungle. Madeline tells Mina, "This jungle is a hunter, and we are all its prey. If you want to stay alive, stay with us." Madeline shows her many point-of-no-return signboards that were placed in a circle all around the jungle, and their room was in the middle of them. Madeline tells her, "These are placed half a day's distance from our house. If you go further than this, it will be difficult to return. So whenever you see them, don't ignore them." Mina asks, "Who made all this?" She replies, "A professor made it, but no one has seen him yet." Now night falls. These people come back inside the house. Every night, the Watchers came to see them. Tonight, the girl named Kiara dances in front of them and says that they like all this. It wasn't that these four had to stand in front of the Watchers every night. They could do whatever they wanted. They just couldn't turn their backs on them. If they did, those people would get very angry. At night, their only problem was the Watchers. But during the day, they also had to face many difficulties. These people would hunt something every day in the jungle to fill their stomachs, which was how they survived. The next day, Kiara and Mina go hunting in the jungle. Mina asks Kiara, "What exactly do these Watchers want?" Kiara says, "I don't know much either." But Madeline says that these Watchers see us and observe us. But if we look at the Watchers, we will go mad because the Watchers look very fierce. Kiara now shows her a pit and says, "There are many such pits in this jungle. During the day, all the Watchers stay in those pits, and at night, they come out from here. They can't come out during the day because the sunlight burns their skin." Kiara tells Mina that she came to this jungle 5 months ago with her husband, and since then, both of them have been trapped here. "But 6 days ago, my husband went out to find a way in the jungle. I hope he will definitely come back and take all of us away safely." Here, we find out that Kiara's husband was actually the man whom we saw at the start of the movie, who was dragged away by someone and is now dead. Talking like this, they both return to the room. Here, Madeline explains 3 rules to Mina for survival. The first is that she will not open the door of the house at night. The second is that she will not turn her back to the mirror at night. And the third is that she will not go near those pits during the day and will stay in the light as much as possible. As long as you follow these rules, you will stay alive. But Mina does not believe Madeline's words at all. That night, Mina wanted to know about these Watchers, so she puts her ear to the mirror and tries to hear the sounds. When she doesn't hear anything, Mina starts to feel that the Watchers' stories told by Madeline are fake, so she breaks the rules and sleeps with her back towards the mirror. Doing this makes the Watchers angry. They start hitting the mirror loudly. Madeline also wakes up with the noise, and she quickly asks Mina to stand towards the mirror. And only then does the Watchers' anger calm down. This means that when humans show their backs to the Watchers, they consider it an insult to themselves. This night also passes, and the next day, Mina goes hunting with Daniel. She asks Daniel, "Have you ever seen a Watcher?" To which Daniel replied, "I haven't seen the Watchers either, and whoever sees the Watchers does not survive." Then Mina explains to Daniel, "I think all this is a story created by Madeline, in which she is trapping us. We should definitely go and check those pits. Maybe we will find a way out of here." Daniel was also very fed up with staying here, and he also wanted to find a way and escape from this jungle somehow. So he agrees with Mina and they both reach the pit. Now Mina ties herself with a rope and descends into this pit. Daniel held the other end of the rope so that if anything happened to Mina, he would quickly pull Mina out. Mina reaches the bottom of the pit, where she finds a lot of human belongings. Mina collects that luggage. This was all the belongings of the people who had become the prey of the watchers in the jungle. Daniel brings a camera, a bicycle, and all the necessary things out with the help of the rope. Mina now waits below for Daniel to throw the rope down so she can go up. And before Mina could get out of the pit, she hears some movement inside the pit. Mina quickly starts shouting for Daniel to throw the rope down. But then, a watcher's hand starts to reach out to catch Mina. But Mina was standing in the sun, so when the sunlight fell on the watcher's hand, his hand started burning. Meanwhile, Daniel threw the rope down to Mina, and Mina quickly came out. Mina was completely terrified. These people brought all that luggage to their safe house, where Madeline asked her, "Where did you get this luggage?" These people lie that they found this luggage in the jungle. Madeline had been living in this jungle for a long time. She knew that this luggage must have been found in a pit and not in the jungle. She asks Mina, "Tell me, what did you see inside the pit?" But Mina doesn't tell her anything. These people were very happy that they would be able to see the watchers tonight, because Mina had found a camera inside the pit. Daniel somehow manages to connect that camera to the TV so that these people can also see the watchers on TV. Madeline repeatedly explains to them that they are doing wrong, but these two do not listen to a single word of hers. Tonight, these people were waiting for the watchers so that they could see them. But even after it was quite late, no watcher came to see them tonight. And now, something strange was about to happen to them after some time. These people were engrossed in conversation when suddenly their door was knocked. They quickly looked at the TV, where they saw human legs. Whoever was outside was talking in Kiara's husband's voice and was asking them to open the door quickly. Kiara thought that surely her husband had found a way out from here. She quickly gets up to open the door. But Madeline comes in between and doesn't let her open the door. She says, "I know your husband is not outside." Because Madeline knew that no human being could reach this room in this dark night. But Kiara does not believe Madeline's words and tries to open the door. After this, Madeline tells Kiara, "He is trapping you, you take his test. Ask him something that only you or your husband knows about." Kiara asks the person standing outside a question about a book, which he should have known about. But when the person standing outside does not give any answer, they understand that it is a watcher. When these people do not open the door, the watcher breaks the camera installed outside them. And here we come to know one thing, that watchers can also change themselves into the form of a human. The watchers were very angry at their actions. They started hitting the mirror very hard, which caused a big crack in the mirror. But here, Madeline shows cleverness and makes everyone stand in line towards the mirror. This cools down the watchers' anger a bit, and they leave from there. Now Mina tells Madeline that they had stolen all this luggage from the pit. Hearing this, Madeline gets very angry, saying, "You people have broken the second rule too." The next morning, Madeline takes all the luggage brought from the pit and throws it back into the same pit. This calms the anger of those watchers a bit. But now, these people started seeing very strange things in the jungle, and its biggest effect was on Daniel. Daniel suddenly starts getting very angry over everything. On the other hand, Kiara, who was earlier hopeful that her husband was alive and would come here and save her from here. But now she had realized that her husband would not come back. Because of this, she was completely broken inside, and she decides to jump into the watcher's pits and take her own life because she had no reason to live now. She was about to do this when Mina comes and saves her. In the meantime, we see that Daniel is looking strangely at Madeline, and he gets angry and ties Madeline to a tree. Daniel said, "Now, I will not follow any rules of this old woman. Only my word will be followed here now." Now it was about to be night, so Daniel ran towards the room, and Kiara also ran after him. But Mina came to Madeline and started untying her ropes. On the other hand, Daniel took Kiara and locked the door of the room from the inside, leaving Mina and Madeline outside for the watchers. Mina and Madeline begged Daniel to open the door. They requested Daniel, "Please open the door." But Daniel did not open the door. Now darkness spread all around outside, and it's time for the watchers to come. So now they were forced to hide under a dense tree to save their lives. After a while, they started hearing the growling sounds of the watchers. At this time, we, along with Mina and Madeline, are also shown a glimpse of those watchers. These people were tall, thin, and dangerous. Everyone comes out of their pits and reaches that safe room to see the humans. And when these people see that Mina and Madeline are not there, they start searching the jungle to eat them. And when these watchers go far away, taking advantage of the opportunity, these two again come to the safe room and cry and ask Daniel to open the door. This time, Daniel's heart softens and he opens the door for them. Now, after going inside, first, Madeline gets angry at Daniel and then she makes everyone stand in front of the mule and tells them some things about the watchers. Madeline said, "We have broken many rules so far, so I don't think the watchers will forgive us this time. I want to tell you some truth about the watchers. Actually, when I first came here, I saw something that blew my mind. I saw a duplicate of myself. Actually, it was a watcher who was trying to take my form. However, its eyes and hair were not perfect at all." Mina asked, "What exactly are these watchers?" To which Madeline replied, "All these creatures are fairies who used to live with humans once upon a time. Fairies were magical creatures with wings. But with the passage of time, humans started fearing the powers of the fairies. That's why humans decided to destroy the fairies. The number of humans was greater, so the fairies could not fight the humans. Humans imprisoned these fairies inside a very big pit in the jungle and trapped them forever in this pit with a curse. After that, fairies remained imprisoned in that pit for hundreds of years. But then, with time, they dug inside the ground and made ways to get out. Today, those same fairies come out of the pits in the form of watchers and come in front of us. However, due to living underground for hundreds of years, they lost their wings and magical powers, and at the same time, they started having trouble with sunlight. But they still have the power to shapeshift." To this, Daniel asked Madeline, "What do these watchers want from us, and why do they look at us every night?" To which Madeline said, "These watchers want to get out of the jungle once again and live among humans. But they cannot live among humans in their original form. That's why they have kept us here, so that they can take our form by looking at us and learn the ways of the present era from us and live among humans." Madeline was telling all these things when suddenly all the watchers came back, and when the watchers came to know that Madeline and Mina had returned to their room, they all burst into anger and started trying to break the door. These four dragged the table and placed it in front of the door so that the watchers could not break the door. But the watchers' strength was quite high, and these four had realized that the watchers would soon come inside, and they could see death in front of their eyes. Then they saw that the carpet had turned over due to dragging the table to the door. When they removed the carpet, they saw a large iron gate underneath. They quickly opened the gate and found out that there was a very big bunker below. These people quickly entered that bunker and closed the iron gate from above. These people were worried that this bunker was present here, and these people did not even know about it. There were many facilities under this bunker. Thousands of days' worth of food, a computer, and a lot of other necessary things were kept. Mina wanted to know who made this place. That's why she turns on that computer. A lot of data was saved in that computer, which, when opened, reveals that this whole place was made by Professor Martin. Actually, the professor knew about these creatures. He wanted to research these watchers. That's why he built this bunker. He would bring other humans here for work by tempting them with money, and at night, he would leave the laborers in the room above and hide here himself, and then the watchers would eat those humans. In the next video, Dr. Martin tells that during his research, he found a very different fairy who could also come out of those pits in the light. The doctor tells that that watcher had taken the perfect form of a little girl, whom no one could recognize. She was very good. She did not kill Dr. Martin. Dr. Martin brought her here. Then the professor turned the camera to the other side. Then they saw that the professor had caged that creature that came in the form of that little girl. No one knows what experiment the doctor was going to do with her. There were many videos on that computer, and something was told in every video. Mina just wanted to know what happened in the end. That's why she plays the last video, in which she sees that the professor is going to kill himself and that fairy. Before dying, he tells the people trapped in this jungle a way to get out from here, and says that by running in the direction the birds fly in the evening, those people can get out of this jungle. He had said in this recorded message, "If someone manages to escape from this jungle, go to the university and destroy all my research. I made a really big mistake by coming here." After that, the professor went up, and then 2 gunshots were heard, from which they understood that the professor had first killed that fairy and then shot himself. Well, tonight, these 4 were very happy because they had found a way to escape from this jungle. The next morning, everyone now comes out of the bunker and sees that their safe house has been completely destroyed by those watchers, and today, they will have to get out of this jungle. or else they will be killed because now they did not have a room to hide in at night either. These people now start moving on the way to get out of the jungle. The birds that the professor was talking about were supposed to fly in the evening, but they had to get out of the jungle before evening. So Mina frees the parrot she has. They start walking in the direction the parrot flies. While walking on the way, they found a grave. Madeline sees that grave and tells them that there was a time when these people lived with humans. But humans did very bad things to them, betrayed them, and trapped them in these jungles and left themselves. After traveling for many hours, these people reached a river. There, they found the professor's boat, which made these people very happy. But their happiness was now short-lived because it was dark now, and it was time for the watchers to come. Before these people could sit in Dr. Martin's boat and go far away from here, they heard someone's voice from behind. When they turned back, it was Kiara's husband who was crying for help. He was badly injured. Everyone else had sat in the boat, so Daniel alone went to help him. Daniel started pulling Kiara's husband towards the boat. But then these people see from the boat that the person Daniel went to help is not a human, but a watcher who took Daniel's form in front of them. They could not do anything. Now that watcher killed Daniel. They knew that watchers could not cross this river, and finally, these people themselves crossed this river and reached the city. And the real twist in the story came after this. After reaching the city, these three went their separate ways, and after a few days, now Mina quickly came to Dr. Martin's university to destroy all his data, as per his instructions. Before she could delete his research data, she found a tape recorder there, and from that tape recorder, Mina came to know a new secret. When humans and fairies lived together thousands of years ago, they also used to get married. The children born from the union of humans and fairies had the qualities of both humans and fairies. They were called halflings. One specialty of those halflings was that they were so skilled in shape-shifting that they could even change the form of a dead person. The professor believed that when humans imprisoned the fairies in the pits inside the jungle, halflings started living secretly among humans by changing their form, and they are still present among humans in some form. When Mina came to the professor's office and started investigating there, she found some pictures that blew her mind. She saw that the lady standing with the professor in the picture was none other than Madeline, and actually, Madeline is the professor's wife. She gets confused as to why Madeline did not tell her these things. To share this heavy confusion, she comes to Kiara and tells her that the Madeline whom they met in the jungle is actually Professor Martin's wife. But she did not tell them this truth because she herself was not a human, but a shape-shifting fairy. When I researched, I found out that many years ago, the professor's wife, Madeline, died due to cancer. Hearing this, Kiara says, "Then who is that Madeline who was with us for so long?" To this, Mina says, "I understand everything. Actually, the professor was very sad about his wife's death and wanted to get her back at all costs. And when the professor came to know about these shape-shifting fairies, the professor caged that shape-shifting fairy who had come to him taking the perfect form of a little girl. The professor showed her his wife's photo and made that fairy look like his wife, Madeline, because that fairy was different from the rest of the fairies. She could also come out during the day. Mina said, "I have called Madeline here. We have to somehow send her back to the jungle." Then a car stopped there. When the person who got out of that car, Mina's breath caught in her throat. It was Kiara. This means that the person who was with Mina until now was Madeline. She had taken Kiara's form. As soon as Kiara came inside the house, Madeline changed into Kiara's husband's form and knocked her unconscious. Mina asked Madeline, "What do you want after all?" To which Madeline angrily said, "I am the most unique creature of the fairies. All my companions used to tease me since childhood. They wouldn't let me stay with them because I was different. I was left alone in that jungle, and I wanted to get out of that jungle and live with people outside. Then one day, the professor came to that jungle. He caged me. He told me that if I took his wife's form, he would take me out of the jungle. I agreed to him. The professor taught me all of Madeline's things, and later, that cheating professor tried to kill me. But before he could kill me, I killed him. You humans are never trustworthy, and you never will be. Now you also know my truth. So, you will also have to die. And after killing you, I will live among humans in your form." Saying this, Madeline took Mina's form and started strangling her to kill her. Then Mina told Madeline, "Did the professor not tell you why you can come out during the day? Actually, you are a hybrid, half human and half fairy. That's why you can live among humans and fairies. I know what it's like to be alone in the world, but you are not the only halfling. there are other halflings like you who are living among humans in some form. As soon as she knew this truth, Madeline's body suddenly started coming into its original form. In no time, her wings came out, after which she leaves Mina here and flies away from here. After this, a scene from a few weeks later is shown where Mina is living with her sister. She told her sister, "Maybe that fairy is still following me." Then Mina's sister tells her, "Don't be afraid, there is nothing like that." And at the end of the story, we see a little girl standing below Mina's house. This was none other than Madeline, who is now living in their world in that form. And with this, the story ends.